ISO 50001 is a globally recognized standard for energy management systems. Think of it as a detailed recipe for any organization that wants to manage its energy use more effectively. It provides a structured framework to help businesses improve their energy performance, increase energy efficiency, and reduce their environmental impact. The standard is designed to be flexible, meaning it can be adopted by any organization, regardless of its size, industry, or geographical location. The core principle of ISO 50001 is the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, a continuous improvement model that drives organizations to systematically identify, manage, and reduce their energy consumption. This cycle ensures that energy management isn't just a one-time project, but an ongoing part of the organization's culture. The standard doesn't prescribe specific energy performance targets. Instead, it guides organizations to set their own realistic goals and then provides the tools and processes to achieve them. It helps you establish the systems and processes necessary to understand where your energy is being used, identify opportunities for savings, and implement changes that lead to measurable improvements. By following this framework, a company can create a sustainable energy management system that integrates with its overall business strategy. This integration is crucial because it aligns energy goals with broader organizational objectives, such as cost reduction, operational efficiency, and corporate social responsibility, making it a strategic business tool rather than just a compliance exercise. ISO 50001:2018 is the latest version of the standard, and it places a stronger emphasis on the role of top management. It requires leaders to be actively involved in the energy management system, ensuring that it receives the necessary resources and support to be successful. This version also aligns with the high-level structure used by other ISO management system standards, such as ISO 9001 for quality management and ISO 14001 for environmental management. This common structure makes it much easier for organizations to integrate their energy management system with other management systems they may already have in place, creating a more unified and efficient approach to overall business management and continuous improvement across all fronts. Ultimately, the goal of ISO 50001 is to help organizations embed energy efficiency into their everyday operations. It encourages a culture of awareness where every employee understands their role in contributing to better energy performance. From the factory floor to the executive boardroom, the standard promotes a systematic approach to making informed decisions about energy use. This comprehensive framework not only helps in cutting costs and reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but also enhances an organization's reputation as an environmentally conscious and responsible entity. It's a powerful tool for any business looking to gain a competitive edge in an increasingly energy-aware global market. Any organization that consumes energy can benefit from ISO 50001 certification, but it's particularly crucial for certain types of businesses. Energy-intensive industries, such as manufacturing, oil and gas, and construction, stand to gain the most significant financial savings from implementing a structured energy management system. In these sectors, energy is a major operational cost, and even small improvements in efficiency can lead to substantial reductions in expenses. For example, a large manufacturing plant or an offshore oil rig uses vast amounts of power, and a systematic approach to managing this consumption can unlock savings that directly impact the bottom line, making the business more competitive and resilient. Beyond heavy industry, organizations in sectors like maritime, shipping, and building management should also strongly consider certification. For shipping companies, fuel is one of the largest operating expenditures, and ISO 50001 provides a framework for optimizing vessel performance and route planning to conserve fuel. In building management, the standard helps property owners and facility managers reduce utility costs for large commercial or residential buildings. It guides them in implementing measures like efficient HVAC systems, smart lighting, and better insulation. Certification demonstrates a commitment to sustainable operations, which can be a key differentiator in attracting tenants or clients who value green credentials and lower operating costs. Organizations facing regulatory pressure or supply chain requirements are also prime candidates for ISO 50001. Governments around the world are implementing stricter energy efficiency regulations and carbon pricing schemes. Having a certified energy management system can help companies ensure compliance with these legal requirements and avoid potential fines or penalties. Furthermore, many large corporations now require their suppliers to demonstrate a commitment to sustainability. ISO 50001 certification can be a prerequisite for doing business with these larger entities, opening up new market opportunities and strengthening relationships within the supply chain. It serves as a clear signal to partners that an organization is serious about its environmental responsibilities. Finally, any organization with a strong commitment to corporate social responsibility and sustainability should pursue ISO 50001 certification. In today's market, consumers, investors, and employees are increasingly drawn to companies that operate ethically and responsibly. Achieving this standard is a powerful way to publicly demonstrate a commitment to reducing your environmental footprint and contributing to a more sustainable future. It goes beyond mere marketing claims by providing verifiable proof of an effective energy management system. This can enhance brand reputation, attract and retain top talent, and build trust with all stakeholders, solidifying the organization's position as a leader in its field. The most immediate and compelling benefit of implementing ISO 50001 is significant financial savings. By creating a structured system to monitor, measure, and manage energy consumption, organizations can pinpoint areas of waste that were previously invisible. This data-driven approach allows for targeted improvements, such as upgrading to more efficient equipment, optimizing operational processes, or eliminating energy leaks. These actions lead directly to lower utility bills and reduced operational costs. For an energy-intensive business, these savings can amount to millions of dollars annually, freeing up capital that can be reinvested into other critical areas of the business, such as research, development, or expansion. Compliance with ISO 50001 also drives enhanced operational efficiency and productivity. The standard requires organizations to establish energy performance indicators, or EnPIs, to track progress. This focus on measurement and continuous improvement often uncovers inefficiencies, not just in energy use, but in broader production processes as well. For example, optimizing a furnace's heating cycle to save energy might also result in faster production times or higher quality products. By integrating energy management into daily operations, companies create a culture of efficiency that permeates the entire organization, leading to smoother workflows, better resource allocation, and improved overall performance beyond just energy metrics. Another critical benefit is improved environmental performance and regulatory compliance. Adhering to the ISO 50001 framework naturally leads to a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and a smaller carbon footprint. This is essential for meeting national and international climate targets and for satisfying the expectations of environmentally conscious stakeholders. Furthermore, the standard requires organizations to identify and comply with all applicable legal and other requirements related to their energy use. This proactive approach helps businesses stay ahead of changing regulations, avoid costly fines for non-compliance, and manage legal risks more effectively, ensuring long-term operational stability and sustainability. Finally, achieving ISO 50001 certification significantly boosts an organization's reputation and competitive advantage. Certification serves as an internationally recognized credential that validates a company's commitment to energy management and sustainability. This can be a powerful marketing tool, differentiating the business from competitors and enhancing its brand image. It builds trust with customers, investors, and the public, showcasing the organization as a responsible corporate citizen. In many supply chains, ISO 50001 certification is becoming a key requirement, meaning compliance can open doors to new business opportunities and strengthen partnerships with major clients who prioritize sustainability in their procurement decisions. Clause 4 of ISO 50001 is the foundation of the entire energy management system, or EnMS. It requires an organization to understand its unique internal and external context. This means identifying the key issues, both positive and negative, that can affect its ability to achieve its energy management goals. External factors could include legal regulations, energy market volatility, new technologies, or expectations from customers and the public. Internal factors might involve the organization's culture, existing infrastructure, financial resources, and overall business strategy. The goal is to get a complete picture of the landscape in which the EnMS will operate, ensuring it is relevant and tailored to the organization's specific circumstances. In practice, implementing this clause varies by industry. A maritime company, for instance, would consider external factors like international maritime regulations on emissions, such as IMO 2020, fluctuating fuel prices, and advancements in hull design or propulsion technology. Internally, it would assess the age and efficiency of its fleet. A construction company, on the other hand, would focus on building codes, availability of energy-efficient materials, client demands for green buildings, and the energy consumption of its heavy machinery on site. For a manufacturing plant, the context would involve supply chain pressures for sustainability, local energy tariffs, and the capabilities of its existing production equipment and workforce. When an auditor assesses Clause 4, they'll look for clear evidence that the organization has performed a thorough analysis of its context. They'll expect to see documented proof of this process, such as minutes from management meetings, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, analysis reports, or stakeholder communication records. The auditor will verify that the organization has identified the interested parties or stakeholders relevant to its EnMS, like regulators, employees, customers, and investors, and understood their needs and expectations. They'll check if the scope and boundaries of the EnMS have been clearly defined and are appropriate for the organization's size and complexity. A common non-conformity for Clause 4 would be a failure to adequately define the scope of the energy management system. For example, a large manufacturing company with multiple facilities might define its EnMS scope to only cover one building while ignoring other significant energy-using areas, like its warehouse or administrative offices, without a clear justification. Another non-conformity could be the lack of a documented process for identifying and reviewing external and internal issues. If an organization can't show how it determined its key challenges and opportunities, or if the analysis is superficial and misses obvious factors like new energy legislation, the auditor would likely raise a finding. Section 5, Clause 5, is all about the crucial role that top management plays in the success of the energy management system. It's honestly not enough for leaders to just give the green light to the EnMS. They really need to be actively involved and show clear, visible commitment. This clause expects top management to set the energy policy, make sure energy objectives are in line with the overall strategic direction of the business, and of course, provide all the resources needed to actually make the system work. Leadership is the driving force behind creating a culture where energy performance becomes a real priority. They have to communicate just how important effective energy management is to everyone in the organization and make sure the EnMS actually achieves its intended outcomes: better energy performance and continuous improvement. Now, leadership commitment can look different depending on the industry. For example, in the oil and gas sector, a CEO might champion a multi-million-dollar investment in flare gas recovery technology, which really shows a commitment that goes way beyond just ticking the compliance box. In the shipping industry, leaders could require the installation of advanced monitoring systems across the entire fleet, so fuel consumption can be tracked in real time and captains are held accountable for meeting efficiency targets. And in construction, top management might enforce a green procurement policy, making it mandatory for all project managers to use energy-efficient materials and equipment, even if the upfront cost is a bit higher. This kind of visible support from the top is, honestly, essential for driving real change. When it comes time for an audit of Clause 5, the auditor will want to speak directly with top management. They'll ask questions to see how well leaders understand the energy policy, the organization's significant energy uses, and how the EnMS is performing. The auditor will look for evidence of leadership involvement, like their signature on the energy policy, records from management review meetings where energy performance was a main topic, and budget approvals for energy-saving projects. They'll also check whether roles, responsibilities, and authorities for the EnMS have been clearly assigned and communicated throughout the organization, so there's accountability at every level. A potential non-conformity under Clause 5 would be if the energy policy is generic and not actually endorsed by top management. If it's just a template pulled from the internet and there's zero evidence that the CEO or managing director has reviewed, approved, and communicated it, that's definitely going to be a finding. Another example would be if top management consistently fails to provide the necessary resources. For instance, if the energy team has identified a real need for new meters to measure energy consumption, but leadership keeps denying the funding without a valid reason, that's a clear sign of a lack of commitment. And honestly, that kind of situation can really undermine the whole system and stop it from working the way it's supposed to. Section 6, Clause 6, is where the strategic planning for the energy management system really takes place. It builds on the context identified in Clause 4 and the leadership commitment from Clause 5. This section requires the organization to address its risks and opportunities related to energy performance. It involves conducting an energy review to understand past and present energy use, identify the most significant energy uses, SEUs, and pinpoint opportunities for improvement. Based on this review, the organization must set clear, measurable objectives and energy targets. It also needs to develop action plans to achieve these targets, defining what will be done, who is responsible, what resources are needed, and how results will be evaluated. Implementation of Clause 6 is highly industry-specific. For example, a manufacturing facility would conduct an energy review by analyzing data from machinery, HVAC systems, and lighting to identify that its compressed air system is an SEU. Its objective might be to reduce energy consumption from this system by 15% within a year. The action plan would include a leak detection program and employee training. On the other hand, a maritime company's energy review would focus on vessel fuel consumption, identifying propulsion and auxiliary engines as SEUs. Its objective could be to improve fuel efficiency by 5%, with action plans involving hull cleaning schedules, weather-based route optimization, and trim optimization software implementation. When auditing Clause 6, an auditor will meticulously examine the energy review process. They will check if it is comprehensive based on actual data and correctly identifies the organization's SEUs. The auditor will verify that the objectives and targets are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. They will scrutinize the action plans to ensure they are robust and have been properly resourced. The auditor will also look for evidence that the organization has established energy performance indicators, or NPIs, to monitor performance against its energy baseline and track progress toward its objectives, making sure the data is reliable. A common nonconformity for Clause 6 is an incomplete or inaccurate energy review. For instance, if an office building management company identifies lighting as an SEU but fails to consider its large, inefficient HVAC system, which accounts for 60% of its energy bill, the review would be deemed inadequate. Another potential nonconformity is setting vague objectives without clear action plans. An organization stating its objective is to improve energy efficiency without defining specific targets, timelines, or the steps to get there would not meet the standards requirements. The plan must be concrete and actionable to be considered conformant. Section 7, Clause 7, focuses on the essential support structures needed to maintain and improve the energy management system. This clause covers several critical areas, including resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. The organization must determine and provide the resources required for the establishment, implementation, maintenance, and continual improvement of the EnMS. This includes human resources, technology, and financial investment. It also requires ensuring that all personnel whose work affects energy performance are competent, meaning they have the appropriate education, training, or experience. This competence is reinforced through awareness programs and effective communication. In different industrial settings, the application of Clause 7 varies. In a construction company, this might mean providing specialized training for crane operators on fuel-efficient operating techniques and ensuring project managers are competent in planning energy use on site. It would also involve clear communication channels for reporting energy waste. In an oil and gas facility, support would include investing in advanced sensor technology for monitoring equipment and providing in-depth training for engineers on how to interpret that data to optimize processes. For a manufacturing plant, it means ensuring maintenance staff are trained to spot and repair compressed air leaks, and that production line workers are aware of how their actions impact energy consumption. During an audit, the focus for Clause 7 is on evidence of implementation. An auditor will review training records to verify that employees in key roles are competent. They will look for communication materials, such as posters, newsletters, or emails, that promote energy awareness. The auditor will also assess whether the organization has an effective process for internal and external communication regarding its energy policy and performance. Crucially, they will check the system for documented information, formerly known as documents and records, ensuring that it is controlled, accessible, and maintained properly, providing a reliable foundation for the EnMS. A typical nonconformity under Clause 7 would be a lack of documented training records for key personnel. For example, if the person responsible for analyzing energy data has no formal training or proven experience in that area, and the organization cannot provide any evidence of their competence, it would be a finding. Another nonconformity could be a breakdown in communication. If top management has set a new energy-saving objective, but the employees on the factory floor are completely unaware of it and its importance, it indicates a failure in the communication process, which hinders the effectiveness of the entire system. Section 8, Clause 8, is really the do part of the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. This is where the action plans developed in Clause 6 are put into practice. The clause requires the organization to implement and control the processes needed to manage its significant energy uses, or SEUs. This involves establishing and applying operational criteria for the effective operation and maintenance of facilities, equipment, and systems. Clause 8 also covers design and procurement. When designing new or modified facilities and equipment, the organization must consider opportunities to improve energy performance. Similarly, when procuring energy services, products, and equipment, energy efficiency must be a key evaluation criterion. The implementation of Clause 8 is highly practical and industry-specific. In a manufacturing plant, this would involve creating standard operating procedures for starting up and shutting down machinery in the most energy-efficient way. It would also mean having a preventive maintenance schedule for key equipment like motors and boilers to keep them running at peak efficiency. For a shipping company, operational control would include implementing voyage plans that dictate optimal vessel speed and trim. Its procurement process would specify minimum energy efficiency standards for new engines or hull coatings. A construction company would implement controls for on-site energy use, such as policies for turning off idle machinery. When an auditor examines Clause 8, they will look for tangible evidence that operational controls are being followed. They will observe processes on the factory floor, on the construction site, or by reviewing ship logs. They will check maintenance records to ensure that work on SEUs is being carried out according to schedule. The auditor will also review design specifications for new projects and purchasing records for recent equipment acquisitions. They will want to see that energy performance was a documented factor in the decision-making process. For example, through a life cycle cost analysis that compares different equipment options. A clear non-conformity for Clause 8 would be a failure to follow established operational controls. For example, if a company has a written procedure that all machines must be powered down during lunch breaks, but an auditor observes that half the machines are left running, this is a direct violation of their own system. Another common nonconformity relates to procurement. If an organization purchases a new, large air conditioning unit without any documented evidence that it considered the energy efficiency of different models, it would be a finding. The standard requires that energy performance be evaluated, not just the initial purchase price. Navigating the complexities of ISO 50001 can seem daunting, but you do not have to do it alone. The journey to certification is a structured process that requires expertise, dedication, and a deep understanding of the standard's requirements. This is where the team of experts at USQC can become your most valuable partner. We specialize in demystifying the standard and providing practical, hands-on support tailored to your organization's unique context. Our consultants work alongside your team to build an energy management system that is not only compliant but also genuinely effective in driving sustainable improvements and delivering a strong return on investment. Our process begins with a comprehensive gap analysis. USQC experts will conduct a thorough assessment of your current operations against the requirements of ISO 50001. This initial step provides a clear roadmap, highlighting your strengths and identifying the specific areas that need development. We help you understand your energy baseline, identify your significant energy uses, and set realistic yet ambitious objectives. Our team provides the tools and methodologies to conduct a robust energy review, ensuring that the foundation of your EnMS is solid and data-driven. setting you up for success from the very beginning of the certification process. Throughout the implementation phase, USQC provides unwavering support. Our experts guide you in developing the necessary documented information, from crafting a powerful energy policy that reflects leadership's commitment to creating practical operational controls and procedures. We assist in training your employees, building the competence and awareness needed to foster a true culture of energy efficiency. We help you establish effective monitoring and measurement systems, including the selection of appropriate energy performance indicators, or NPIs, so you can track your progress and make informed decisions. Our goal is to empower your team to own and manage the system effectively long after certification is achieved. Finally, USQC stands with you through the certification audit and beyond. We help you prepare by conducting internal audits and management reviews, ensuring you are fully ready for the external auditor. Our deep experience with the audit process means we know what auditors look for and can help you address potential issues before they become nonconformities. After you achieve certification, our partnership continues. We can assist with the ongoing maintenance and continual improvement of your EnMS, helping you leverage the system to unlock even greater savings and solidify your position as an industry leader in sustainability. Let the experts at USQC be your guide on the path to ISO 50001 certification.